everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Digital Den for the weekly newsletter with Mr. Phillips.
Good morning, Jency.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Fabulous. It's Thursday and kind of like Friday, right? No school,
Yeah.
no school for kids tomorrow, so that's good. So y'all get a long weekend here, and teachers will be in tomorrow to do some professional development work, and so we'll have Monday off. So we have a 3-day weekend, but students have a 4-day weekend, so that's always exciting.
Very exciting. What are the biggest highlights of the third week of school?
So we had a great week this week. We talked last week about just kind of the norms are kind of set for the year. Like we're kind of into routine, so we just reestablished that again this week, just working with holding kids accountable and making sure they're here on time. And once again, I always feel like this holiday weekend is kind of the point, okay, newness is gone now, right? Like we're back into school. The dog days are coming, starting next week. So the grind will really start. But this week was a good week. It's been a great weather week. All of our sports teams have got to play. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. We haven't had any heat delays or anything like that. Academically, we did some things. We got the CERT test this week. We knocked that out of the park. So scores are coming back for that. Getting some exciting, our test scores are going to come back from last year. We'll be talking about that in the next month or two. So a lot going on here at Spencer County High School.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you think students and faculty have supported the school throughout this week?
Yeah, so for faculty, we're really just kind of ingrained in the PLC process right now. Just kind of, they're spending their planning periods working to make the instruction better for you all as students, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow here. So you all are staying home tomorrow on Friday, and all of our staff will be here about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it just gives us time to jump in and to really just make sure our days, our instruction, our routine is structured all around success of students, right? Like that's the goal. So that's what faculty's doing. Students are showing up. Awesome, unbelievable week. Very, very few behaviors in our building. Kids are showing up and just being leaders. We talked about that last week, and I feel like we're going to say that a lot through this podcast throughout the year. Like our kids are true leaders in our building. They represent themselves well, their families well. They represent our community well. When you all go out and do things in other places, people know that kids from Spencer County are great kids. So getting emails this morning from kids wanting to come here from other counties, that's always kind of cool to, that makes you feel good. Like, hey, like people want to be there when they're called, like, hey, what can I do to get into your building? So I actually had 2 of those this morning when I came in. So
wow.
Pretty cool to see that the word's out. Spencer County's a special place.
Yes, absolutely. Was there anything fun and exciting you saw in the classrooms at all?
Yeah, classrooms are great. We've got Miss Roberts and Culinary. I was down in there. They kind of started cooking this week. That's always a really fun class for kids. You get in there. All of I was in ag this week. They were doing some really, really cool stuff. When you think about our pathway classes, engineering was really starting to dive in and doing some stuff with their 3D printers and things like that. Just really, really cool things going in our classrooms. And that, once again, that leads back to what I just mentioned of people want to be here. And that's why, because their experience from 7:30 to 2:30 every day is they enjoy it. So kudos to our teachers for thinking outside the box and building these cool activities. And once again, like that's just really cool to see. Like that, our teachers and kids have such a passion for the classes they're in. So it's just another step of what makes us a pretty good place.
Yes, absolutely. So for what all of our viewers have been waiting for, what games did we have this week, and what stood out to you?
Yeah,
most?
So we had, like I said, the sports calendar was a go this week. No heat, so everybody got to play, and actually it was beautiful outside. It was almost, the nighttime was kind of chilly, so we can backtrack to football last week. Last Friday it was, we played our first home game. Our student section was rocking, so respectful but had fun, and we beat Moore 43-3. It was a really good game. We've got Collins coming up tomorrow night, so all of our students, I think is that a whiteout? I believe it's a whiteout.
White lie.
So I need all of our students there. Today you'll have tomorrow off, but make sure to get to that game tomorrow night. The weather's going to be beautiful. Get out, support them, support our football team and our coaches and our cheerleaders that'll be there. So. Volleyball, I think they split this week. I think they lost to Bullitt East earlier in the week, and then they beat Fairdale last night in a good game, really quick game. They kind of ran through them pretty fast, which is good. I think soccer, girls soccer won last night. They beat Male last night. I think boys soccer had one game this week, and they lost down at John Hardin, but it's okay. I think they're back I think they're playing at Anderson County tonight. So just a busy week. Every night we had something going on, and which I love. That's pretty cool. When I rolled by campus last night, I had to go home and do some things, but came back and parking lot's completely packed at 7:30, 8 o'clock last night. So that's what makes this place. It's pretty cool. Like, we're open 24 hours a day. I say that all the time. Like, I feel like our building is always got something going on.
Yes.
But that's what it's about. So.
Yes, and I feel like that's like the great thing of going here and then being involved. Is there's so many different opportunities to get involved. It's kind of impossible to not be.
Yeah, and you all do such a good job. Our students do a really good job of supporting each other. You know, like. Even though your kid's involved in something, they will go show up the next night to support kids doing other things. So that just builds a vibe in the building. That's you all are not only you're really concerned about like your life and what you're doing and what you're involved, but you're also like you want to support your classmates, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely, and following tomorrow night's game against Martha Lane Collins, how can students and faculty help support
get
that?
there. Staff, I want to see you there. I think our next home game is going to be our staff night, which will get everybody there. And our staff was really Friday night. A lot of our staff was there this past Friday, the Moore game. But students showing up early, getting there, being respectful. You know, like it was last Friday night, I stayed after and got to walk the bleachers. Kids cleaning up after themselves, doing those type of things. Just continue to do that type of stuff, right? Be there, show up, be loud, be respectful, leave it better than you found it when you leave, right? We don't like Collins at all, but we want to make sure we leave it better than we found it when we're over there tomorrow night. So get there early, be loud, dress for the whiteout, do those things, and that'll get us off to a great start to the weekend.
Absolutely. And just a few announcements for all of our students and viewers out there. Make sure that we are cleaning up the student section in the bleachers after our football games and volleyball games. Last Friday night in the student section we had a few issues with cleanup, so just make sure that we're picking up after ourselves, and most of all, have good ethics and pick up after each other.
That's right.
We had senior sunrise this week, and that was a blast. I know everyone had a lot of fun.
There were a bunch of y'all out there. I showed up a little bit early, and there were kids everywhere.
Yes.
That's a cool activity. Miss Cook started that just a few years ago. We haven't been doing that long. That's a really cool activity.
Yeah, absolutely. And a big thank you to Taylorsville Nutrition and Energy for coming out that morning and making shakes and making teas for everyone.
Awesome.
And thank you to Dairy Queen and McDonald's for also providing food for us. We really appreciate it. It was all gone.
If there's one thing I know about kids, y'all like to eat.
Yes, we do.
That's right.
And the theme for tomorrow night's football game is whiteout/white lie. So make sure that you show up and out to our football game against our top rival school, Collins.
I need to mention one thing about the whiteout.
Of course.
Please, no baby powder. A couple years ago, we went over there and they threw baby powder in there, and people start choking. It's a health hazard for people. Like it can get in their throats and cause issues. So please leave the baby powder at home.
Absolutely no baby powder. But I think that's about wraps my questions.
Yeah, it's been a short week, four-day week. Everybody enjoy their weekend, their 4-day weekend, and like I said, we'll get back after it Tuesday morning when we get back here. So.
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Phillips, for joining me today.
Yeah, it's awesome. Love it.
All right, and make sure you guys like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next week for the Digital Den. Bye, guys.